This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
New tonight, friends and family of a man who died at Forest Park say the city's 911 system failed them. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. Brian Zanghi died a few weeks ago when he went into cardiac arrest while playing baseball. 5 on your side, Christine Byers is here with new details about what happened. Christine.
Mike and Ann, Brian Zanghi's girlfriend reached out to us after seeing our story about St. Louis's 911 system. She says the city's dispatch system failed and she wants changes before it happens to someone else.
Mike Harris and Mike Ferguson have shared some great memories together at Aviation Field and Forest Park. Now, they can barely walk into the dugout without tears in their eyes.
I didn't think it was going to be this hard.
It's unnecessary. Just so sad. Doing something he loves so much.
They're talking about their teammate, Brian Zanghi. Trina Sturgeon was his girlfriend.
He was just the most loving guy that there was.
On June 17th, Brian walked back to the dugout and said he couldn't feel his right hand.
We kind of thought it was, heat exhaustion.
This phone record shows one of his teammates called 911 at 1:45.
It was relayed to us that somebody was on the way.
But Brian only got worse.
We just kept telling him, breathe, Brian, you gotta breathe, you gotta breathe.
9 minutes after the first 911 call, Mike Ferguson and a few other teammates called 911 again.
I was put on hold. I didn't even talk to a person.
A few more minutes passed.
And then somebody picked up and I told him what was happening and he said, well, we've already got somebody on the way.
The teammates ran to the nearest buildings looking for a defibrillator. Trina Sturgeon, a doctor herself, was shocked they couldn't find one.
AEDs are in airports and malls and shops. Why wouldn't you have an AED in a field where people are active?
As they ran and waited, they could see Barnes Jewish Hospital.
We kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and I just kept looking up at that hospital, thinking it's so close.
We were told that we needed to stay here so they could come to us and we could keep compressions going.
It was at least 20 minutes and probably longer before we got a response team here. Closer to 30 probably.
Brian was in cardiac arrest. He was pronounced dead at the hospital.
I don't know if Brian would have had a chance if they'd gotten here in the time frame they should have, but that's kind of the point. We'll never know.
Now, Forest Park Forever keeps defibrillators at the visitor center and the management office at Forest Park. The city is responsible for the mounted police stable. Meanwhile, city leaders say they are about 40 911 dispatchers and 10 EMS dispatchers short. The mayor's office says it is pulling records related to this case, and we will update you when we get them.
Tonight, we're learning more about a Metrolink shooting that left one man dead in East St. Louis. Right now, the suspect is still on the run, and the major case squad is investigating. 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay spoke with Metrolink officials about upgraded security measures they have in place, and she joins us live. Mercedes.
And part of Metrolink security upgrades includes the real-time camera center. It's a tool that investigators say is a game changer in these type of situations, especially when a suspect is still on the loose.
And we've had some incidents on the trains, and the video and audio is phenomenal.
Investigators are hoping updated technology can help with the most recent crime on a Metrolink train.
Sounds like there was an altercation on the train that may have started down at the JJK station.
Before 5:30 Tuesday morning, police say multiple shots were fired at the Jackie Joyner Kersey Center station. The shooter, an adult male, was on the platform, while the victim, 23-year-old Turion Ostel, was on the train.
The victim stayed on the train after he believed he was shot.
Once the train stopped at the Washington Park station, Ostel got off and was transported to the hospital, where the St. Clair County coroner confirmed he later died.
Anytime that something like this happens, we're very saddened. We work diligently to try to prevent as much of this as we possibly can.
That prevention comes from this real-time camera center. Kevin Scott, general manager of security for Bi-State Development, says there are about 900 cameras now. They're working on expanding it to 1,600.
This is a very proactive technology that we have. We watch it in real time, 24/7.
It's all a part of the secure platform plan Metrolink is rolling out, which includes gating and fencing, taking it from an open concept system to a closed one.
So we have to move our assets and stay out in front of things and try to predict as much stuff as possible.
While it may seem like these tragedies happen constantly on the train, the statistics show otherwise. Scott says Metrolink's overall incident rates at the end of this year's first quarter was less than 1%.
They're very rare, and what it does is it overshadows all of the exceptional advances that we've made here.
Despite its uniqueness, they are incidents no one wants to see repeated.
We all love our city, and we're working every day to try to make it better.
Metrolink recently announced that it would be putting metal detectors at certain stations. They told me today that they will be rolling that out very soon through a 4-week pilot. Live in downtown St. Louis, Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
Well, temperatures climbed into the high 90s today. Heat indexes hit the triple digits, and it's expected to get even hotter as the week wears on. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell has our weather first forecast. Scott?
Yeah, we have that heat advisory, Mike, going into effect tomorrow. It's going to stay into effect as we head through the end of the week. Might even get extended into the weekend. Right now, it's set to go through Friday evening. At this point, we do have a few clouds around the St. Louis area. This is looking over from O'Fallon, Illinois, back to the west. And you have a few clouds here and there. It is hot, it is steamy, and believe it or not, there's actually a couple of showers and thunderstorms north and northwest of St. Louis. We're in the low to mid 90s right now. It feels like it's close to or a little bit above 100 for most of us. That heat advisory will cover the entire area as we head through the next few days. It starts tomorrow morning. Here are those showers kind of drifting in from the north and west. Some rumbles of thunder in there, nothing severe. You might get a brief downpour, but honestly, this is just not going to amount to a whole lot. So don't expect a lot of rainfall out of this as we head through this evening. If anything, it just makes it more steamy heading into the next couple of days. The most intense heat's going to be Thursday and Friday, but your afternoon heat indices the next 3 days, if not the next 4 days, will be from 100 to 110 degrees. And we don't get much relief from the overnight hours either. Overnight low temperatures, 70s, maybe even low 80s in town. And we'll see in a few minutes, we'll talk about perhaps a little relief for part of the weekend.
And we're continuing our team coverage, Scott, of this extreme heat. Our Justina Cornell shows us how outdoor workers are dealing with the brutal temps.
It's hot, oppressively hot.
This week, St. Louis will see staggering scorching temperatures. As the numbers bump up, some employees will need to slow down.
The sun coming down mixed with the extreme heat can put a lot of pressure on workers working outside. That's why extra measures are coming into place to help them.
Safety is important. It comes first in a situation like this. Workers start a little earlier in the day.
Under the blanket of the blistering heat, MSD crews work in South St. Louis.
One of our construction crews for this area has been working on a main that needed repair for about a week now. Thankfully, they're about to wrap up this job. Our safety supervisors are meeting with our crews, talking about best practices, trouble signs to look out for. All of our trucks are air conditioned, equipped with water.
Workers weather the wave.
A lot of critical infrastructure that we have to operate, we have to maintain. People are relying on that service regardless of weather conditions, so we're out here doing it regardless of weather conditions.
Fire crews brace for the heat, a condition they're used to.
We just move a little slower. We still get the job done, but we take a little bit more breaks. But the problem is once they get out into the heat, they're not able to cool off as quick. Fire in a building, you know you're going to be in 600-700 degree temperatures very quickly. All the fire department equipment on with the tank, you're probably looking at about an additional 60 pounds. But the weight of it isn't what affects you. It's how fast you heat up and how quickly your body temperature goes up. And that causes an issue.
More respite is required. Chief Dennis Jankerson said, just like they water down fires, they also cool off their crews.
As soon as they come out of a fire, we get them stripped down and we start hydrating them and then we start cooling them off with a water stream.
Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
The St. Louis Fire Chief told Justina that crews also have to prepare on their days off, like drinking lots of water while off the clock has made a big difference.